Hello friends, welcome to Ultimate Law Associates. Today we will see chapter 3 and 4 of Indian Partnership Act 1932. Let's see chapter 3 which covers section 9 to 17. Let's start. First question is, what are the general duties of a partners are produced under section 9 of the Indian Partnership Act 1932? The general duties of a partners are produced under section 9 to carry on the business to the greatest common advantage, to be just and faithful to each other, to render true accounts and full information of all things affecting the firm to any partner or his legal representative. Question second, the mutual rights and liabilities of partners would be given under which section? The mutual rights and liabilities of partners are given under section 13. Next question, who shall indemnify the firm for any loss caused to it by his fraud in the conduct of the business of the firm? Every partner shall indemnify the firm for any loss caused to it by his fraud in the conduct of the business of the firm. Next question, according to section 11 of the Act, the mutual rights and duties of partners may be determined by whom? According to section 11 in the Indian Partnership Act 1932, subject to the provision of this act, the mutual rights and duties of the partners of a firm may be determined by contract between the partners, and such contract may be expressed or may be implied by a course of dealing. Next, the contract between the partners may be expressed or may be implied by a course of dealing. Where in the absence of any contract agreement between the partners, how the profit and losses would be shared? According to Partnership Act, in the absence of any agreement between partners, profit and loss must be shared equally, regardless of the ratio of the partner's investment. If the partnership agreement specifies how profits are to be shared, losses must be shared on the same basis of profits. Next question, which section deals with mutual rights and liabilities? Section 13 of the Indian Partnership Act, mutual rights and liabilities. Subject to contract between the partners, a partner is not entitled to receive remuneration for taking part in the conduct of the business. The partners are entitled to share equally in the profit earned and shall contribute equally to the losses sustained by the firm. Where a partner is entitled to interest on the capital subscription by him, such interest shall be payable only out of profits. A partner making for the purposes of the business any payment or advance beyond the amount of capital he has agreed to subscribe is entitled to interest thereon at the rate of 6% per annum. The firm shall indemnify a partner in respect of payments made and liabilities incurred by him in the ordinary and proper conduct of the business, and in doing such act in an emergency for the purpose of protecting the firm from loss, as would be done by a person or ordinary prudence in his own case under similar circumstances, and a partner shall indemnify the firm for any loss caused to it by his willful neglect in the conduct of the business of the firm. Next question, where in the absence of any contract between the partners, a partner making advance or payment beyond the amount of capital introduced by him is entitled to interest thereon at the rate of 6% per annum. Next question, the property of the firm also includes goodwill of the business. means goodwill of the business is the property of the firm. Leading case of section 14, the property of the firm. Ganpat Rai versus Abnas Chandar, AIR 1973, Jammu and Kashmir. Next question. If a partner derived any profit for himself from any transaction of the firm from the use of the property or business connection of the firm or the firm name, then what is the liability of the partner? He shall account for that profit and pay it to the firm. Next question. Section 17 deals with rights and duties of partners. Which section makes provision property of the firm shall be held and used partners exclusively for the purpose of the business? Section 15. According to Section 15 of the Indian Partnership Act, depending upon the contract between the partners, the property of the firm shall be held and used exclusively for business purposes by the partners. Next, in which case it was held that the firm was entitled to recover the profit which was made by the partner for himself. The case was Bentley versus Craven, 1853. Next chapter, chapter 4, which covers section 18 to 30. First question is, what a partner is known as for the purpose of the business of the firm? A partner is known as for the purpose of the business of the firm is an agent. Every partner is an agent of the firm and his other partners for the purpose of the business for the partnership. Next question. Statutory restrictions on the partner's implied authority is mentioned under which section? Under section 19, clause 2. The implied authority of partners as agent of the firm is stated under which section? Under section 19. Implied authority of a partner, unless a contrary agreement exists, implied authority does not empower a partner to submit a dispute relating to the business of the firm to arbitration, open a bank account in his name on behalf of the firm. Next question. The authority of a partner to bind the firm conferred by section 19 is called an implied authority. Section 19 of the Indian Partnership Act defines implied authority as the authority of a partner to bind the firm to his action. While first part of section 19 uses an affirmative rule in determining the implied authority of a partner, the latter provides a negative rule, listing out all the functions that a partner is not permitted to do and thereby draws a demarcation as to where the implied authority is extended and restricted. In order to determine implied authority, the act ought to be done in such a manner so as to imply an intention to bind the firm. Next question. By which authority of a partnership firm is liable for acts done by a partner? The express authority of a partner or the implied authority of a partner? Next question. Which of act does not fall within the implied authority of a partner? To submit a dispute relating to the business of the firm to arbitration. The act done by a partner within the scope of his implied authority does not bind the firm if it has been done by him for his own purposes and not for the firm to the knowledge of the third party. Next question. Which section deals with the liability of the partners for the act of the firm? Section 25. The liability of the partners of a firm jointly or together is mentioned under section 25 of the Partnership Act. It lays down the fact that every partner of the firm can be held liable jointly or severally for all acts done by the firm while he or she is a partner of the firm. Next question. Which section deals with the liability of the firm for wrongful act of a partner? Section 26. Which section of the Indian Partnership Act 1932 deals with the doctrine of holding out? Section 28 deals with the doctrine of holding out. The concept of holding out has been provided under Section 28 of the Partnership Act and Section 29 of Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. These sections state that a person is held liable as a partner by holding out if the given conditions are fulfilled. The doctrine of holding out is a branch of which law? The doctrine of holding out is a branch of law of estoppel. The position of a minor is provided under which section? The position of minor attaining majority according to section 30 class 5 of the Indian Partnership Act. A minor has two options after attaining majority. Either he can sever the connection with the firm or become a full-fledged partner in the firm. The requirement of public notice of retirement of partner is to be given in which case? In active partner case. The term notice under section 24 of the Act has referred to actual notice. The provision related to the liabilities of a firm for the wrongful acts for the tort is contained under which section? Under section 29. According to section 26 of the Indian Partnership Act, what is the liability of the firm? The liability of firm vicariously liable for the wrongful acts or omission of a partner, whereby the wrongful act or omission of a partner acting in the ordinary course of the business of a firm or with the authority of his partners, loss or injury is caused to any third party or any penalty is incurred, the firm is liable therefore to the same extent as the partner. Next question, can a minor be partner of a firm? No, but can be admitted to the benefit partnership. Section 30 of the Indian Partnership Act provides that though a minor cannot be a partner in a firm, but with the consent of all the partners for the time being, he may be admitted to the benefits of partnership by an agreement executed though his guardian with the other partners. Next question, by how many ways a partner ceases be a partner? In the following case, partner ceases be a partner: by retirement, by expulsion, by insolvency, by death. Next question, when does a partner has the right to be indemnified for the acts done? The ordinary and proper conduct of the business and an emergency. Next, how many time period notice is required to be given by a minor after attaining his majority that he shall become a partner? Within 6 months. Does the minor personally liable for the any such act? No, according to section 30 class 3. These are very important questions for your upcoming examination. So please watch this video. Thank you.